What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed if you are. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube while you're at it, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this podversation / politics and BS. Now, we all know that 45, former president, he's been indicted. And a lot of people had a lot to say about it. Some people are, trying to stand with them 10 toes down. Some people are backtracking a little bit. And then there's some people that are just like, what is in the indictment? If it is true, then it is bad. But anyway, I'm not here to get into all of that right now. But one person that seems to be okay with him possibly going away for a number of years, maybe even for the rest of his life, because we know he just turned 77 years old, is the wifey. Melania seems to be feeling pretty good right now and in a pretty zen place. And she's not going to be going back and forth with him to the courts. She wasn't with him when he went to New York, when he got indicted there not too long ago. And she says she's with him in this run for president, but it's been reported allegedly that she had her prenup renewed when he decided that he was going to run again. So listen, she's solidified her space and time, and she's a former first lady, pretty good for somebody who wasn't born in this country. And now she can say that, yeah, I was the first lady. But they're saying that she is just not wanting to have anything to do with any of it. And she may want the legal issues to go away just because it's just something that bothers her. She is just going to continue to go about her own business. And she's continuing to move ahead. And she refuses to be dragged down by the crap that he's put himself in, for the most part, is what they're saying. So I want to read a little bit of something from this article from Vanity Fair, and I just really found it funny. So it's back in March, right before he was indicted by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for paying hush money to a porn star on the eve of the 2016 election. A report emerged that Melania wanted to ignore the whole thing and hoped it would just pass, but she didn't sympathize with his plight. Now that he has been indicted for a second time on arguably more serious federal charges, what is she thinking? Well, they're saying it's more or less the same thing. Sources told People that Melania doesn't want anything to do with any of it. And while she wishes these legal issues would go away because it is bothersome for her, she is in a been there, done that mode about the whole thing. After all, as People report, she has lived with other public humiliation for many years, including the sex scandals. And she's not about to let her husband's problems become her problems. Quote, Melania prefers to go about her business. And while no one would have expected her to defend him publicly, quote, and not quote, parentheses, she declined to appear at both of his arraignments, comma, the reason most recently cited for her current silence is pretty incredible. She apparently knows how bad this case looks for him. Although her husband feels the legal issues are witch hunts, she prefers to stay away from making many comments, as some of the recent evidence, especially in the Mar-a-Lago documents case, is quite damaging. A source told People, adding that the former First Lady believes, based on the evidence, that he has a rough road ahead. Melania, of course, is not alone in her thinking. After the federal indictment against him came out, his former Attorney General, Bill Barr, called the charges very, very damning, and adding, if even half of it is true, then he's toast. Meanwhile, at least one Fox News legal analyst has predicted Trump is looking at a terminal prison sentence. Trump pleaded not guilty to all charges on Tuesday and not guilty to the Manhattan DA's charges in April. As for a potential plea deal, a source with knowledge about Melania's frame of mind suggested that Trump's wife does not think the presidential candidate should go there. She wants his legal team to fight this to the end and hopefully end the fight. Whether the end results in her spouse being moved into a federal penitentiary, of course, remains unclear. Also unclear is whether or not Melania would be bothered by such an outcome. Melania knows what she signed up for. She is in a wait-and-see position. He'll either be in prison or be president, or both, possibly. Now, the thing about it is, it's funny to me because she allegedly is wanting him to fight this to the end. She didn't say fight this until he wins. Fight this to the end. Even though he's a former president, we know that a lot of situations when it comes to these federal indictments, what did they say? They win 97% of the time. So it's a 3% chance that if you try to fight it, that you will win. Okay. She doesn't want him to plea because the fact of the matter is if he pleads out, I don't even think that they would bother trying to put him in prison. He would probably get like a record, having time served or probation or something like that because they treat him differently. We know that, right? So the fact that she doesn't want him to strike a plea deal and she wants him to fight to the end, to me, it sounds like she wants him to stay busy because he's running for president. She's not following him around, campaigning with him. We haven't even seen any of his other family members running around with him or campaigning with him for that matter either, right? So she wants him to stay busy campaigning, and she also wants him to be busy wrapped up in both of these indictments where he's going to have to be on trial and going to court. It's not going to be like the E. Jean Carroll situation where he decided, well, I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to be there. With this, he's going to have to be there, right? So it's going to keep him busy and it's going to keep him tied up. He just turned 77 years old. Look, Melania is just trying to live her life. She doesn't want to be wrapped up and involved in any of this stuff, either him going to prison or being president. She really doesn't want to have anything to do with it. She wasn't really involved when she was the first lady in the first place. What was her campaign called? Be Best. Okay. So it was like at this point in time, she doesn't know how much longer he's got to be here on this planet. Usually mean people that have cold hearts like he does, they usually stick around here until they're like in their 90s. I'm not saying that he will. I'm not saying that he won't. But she just wants to live her life. And I just believe that they're living separately. A lot of people felt like they were already doing that anyway. Allegedly, they were not sleeping in the same bedrooms. And I couldn't blame her. But I would never be with somebody like that anyway. But that's, anyway, you already know. But I'm just like seeing this, seeing him campaigning, seeing him having to go to court. This is like his second indictment so far. She's not tagging along with him. I just think she's just fed up and she just wants everyone to leave her the hell alone. So it's being alleged that she is okay with him going away. And she's just going to live her life in Mar-a-Lago with her and his son, Barron. I think his name is Barron. And she doesn't want to have anything to do with any of this stuff. Allegedly, she was pregnant with Barron during the time that Stormy Daniels stuff occurred. So, yeah, she's stuck in there. She's continued to have her prenuptial agreement updated, allegedly, and she's just staking her claims. And she doesn't want to have anything to do with any of this. And in my personal opinion, she doesn't want to have anything to do with him. She just wants to live her life in peace and in wealth. Okay. So guys, you let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth. I'm just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.